back to Core Vision, and I'm going to start off this one with a little Bengals rant.
Go ahead, man. He's been frustrated for this whole week.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, if you're a Bengals fan, I mean, I don't know how all 5 viewers, which ones you root for, but if you're a Bengals fan, it's a terrible time for us right now. I'm sorry for everybody predicting them to win the wild card. Bad decision.
Yeah,
not happening. Because heading to Lambeau, that's 0-3, and it's just not about to happen.
We're going to go ahead and count that as 0-3, and we're just going to go ahead and say A.J. McCarron is soon to be the starter.
I wish. But anyway, so, I mean, if anything, just changes have to happen. I mean, whether it's with Dalton, the offensive coordinator, or Marvin, which I would prefer all three changes to happen, but I know the Bengals won't do anything like that mid-season because it's not what they do. But when you see players like AJ Green, who is literally like a quiet assassin, doesn't say much at all, just going off, and I mean, something has to happen. I don't know what they can possibly change. I don't know if they can just have a whole playbook where you just throw him the ball every single time, which is what we should do.
Yeah, you saw the Texans do that last night.
Right? They throw it to Hopkins every single time. It's a recipe for success when you're a crappy team like the Bengals.
Yeah, Falcons sometimes do it with Julio. Of course, the Steelers do it with Antonio Brown. Just force feed them. You know?
Exactly. But, I mean, it was just awful. I mean, in the words of Drake Kirkpatrick last night, we sucked. But, I mean, just to read some quotes from AJ Green, we're playing like shit. There's one. Being one of the leaders of the offense, I feel like that ball should be mine somehow, and it should. He got 2 targets in the second half.
Agreed.
What? I mean, Alex Harrison got all 3 passes to him on the final drive. Like, I mean, I like Alex Harrison. Nothing wrong with him. But come on, man. And, I mean, as he says, you got to find a way to give me the ball, and we are not doing it right. Clearly. Clearly not doing it right. So, I mean, this team, we're talking about an offense that has plenty of weapons. It's ridiculous.
Talented.
It's ridiculous that we're even talking about us tying the 1939 Eagles for being the first team to start 2 first home games and not score a touchdown. 1939 Eagles.
That's a long time if you guys didn't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, as a Bengals fan, it's always good to see us break a record because you don't see it often. So, I mean, I look forward to seeing, I don't know if any team's done it 3 times, but I mean, the way Dalton's throwing the ball, it could happen.
He's in playoff form already.
It is, and then you have Marvin, and they ask him about Dalton after the game. And, I mean, in week 1, I mean, I get it. Dalton's our starter. I get that. They're paying him a lot of money. I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, in week 1, it wouldn't have hurt to throw McCarron in. Just throw him in and see what the heck happens. I mean, it couldn't have hurt, and maybe, I mean, would light a fire under Dalton as bright as his hair. I mean, I don't know, but Marvin, here's his quotes, of course. Not worried about Andy. Continue to let Andy do his thing. Not taking a step back. Right. Right. Of course, Dalton. I mean, and Marvin. I don't know. It's just annoying. I know they probably won't fire Marvin. This is the last year of his contract. I pray that they don't re-sign the man.
I honestly, after this start, I don't really think they will. Obviously, they're going to get up to most likely an 0-3 start.
Oh, yeah. Barring a miracle.
I mean, could you see? I mean, I highly doubt it, but could you see their 2-6 the first half games?
No, I mean, what's sad is I don't know. That could happen. I just don't see them actually making changes midway through the season like that. And, I mean, the bad thing is on this Bengals team, like, with the coaching staff, like, in recent years, we had some assistants that would have been awesome coaches. Like, Mike Zimmer would have loved to have him. Hugh Jackson would have loved to have him. Like, right now, I don't know.
Coming from a Raiders fan who lost Hugh Jackson, too. Big loss.
Yeah,
he's talented. That's one of the reasons why I think the Browns' future looks so bright.
He's smart, man. Yeah. I mean, he really knows offense well. He's awesome. But, no, really the only good thing that I saw happen last night was us honoring Chad Johnson and TJ Ushmanzada. That's about it.
I mean, what would you, if, like I said last night, I think I recommended they should probably run more plays for Eifert or go to, just have a bell cow running back like Mixon, just get 20 to 25 carries and then a little bit.
I think they're going to have to mix up the offense somehow. I think that's going to be key to do. I mean, I don't know which ones they want to go with. I honestly don't care, but I do think they need to limit 2 running backs. Because one, the way running back goes, like, you get into a rhythm during a game.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into a rhythm when you play one series and then you're off while the other two running backs do a series. So
and if you're a rookie like Mixon, you need the confidence. You don't want to keep getting taken out every time you feel like you had a good run.
Which, I mean, I could actually see. I mean, he comes from, I don't know, I'm sure with how talented it is, his high school team probably won plenty of times.
Yeah.
And he obviously won a lot at Oklahoma. I mean, you could actually see even his frustration on the sideline. I mean, there was one play where I think they ran on 3rd and 2, and Jeremy Hill got a total of -1 yards, and he just took his helmet off and just turned around shaking his head.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is what I also don't understand. Obviously, the 3-back set, I don't really understand that a lot. But I mean, you have 3 good, solid running backs.
Yeah, I mean it is, and I mean honestly, after drafting Mixon, they should have tried to see if somebody would take Jeremy Hill.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no point in having 3. There's a reason why no team does 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. And what are the chances you're even gonna, if you have a bell cow back like Mixon, what are the chances you're gonna really need Jeremy Hill at all?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. People might say that he's a bruiser that can. I mean, we need him inside the goal line, but I mean, people don't realize Mixon actually big.
Yeah,
he's a big running back. Like, he can do that stuff.
He's an all-around good back. That's what I like most about Mixon. And also, what I said about Eifert is, it seems like they only run plays for him in the red zone.
Yeah, and they're not using him nearly as much. He didn't even give a target until the end of the second half. The 2 minutes left in the end of the second half.
And you notice because they really weren't in the red zone that much.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and I know part of the problem. I mean, yeah, offensive line, sure, it isn't great, but like Dalton's had time to throw on plenty of passes that he's missing. I mean, like, there was one, LaFell would have had a touchdown and threw it way over his head. There's the one play where somebody was running the screen, and I don't know, Godzilla couldn't even have caught the pass. So.
The Erickson pass, the last play of the fourth down. Oh,
I mean, I don't know how high he thinks Erickson can jump, but I've yet to see it in a game. Maybe he jumps that high in practice. I don't know.
See, what I think is, eventually they're going to end up having to go to McCarron just to see if it will create a spark, because we've seen about as good as Andy Dalton's going to get.
Exactly.
And he has a talent around him right now. I think Ross is a good player. I think LaFell, Boyd, Eifert, all
another
3
thing. I mean,
not to mention AJ Green.
Why, for one, I mean, Boyd was inactive, and like, he's not even hurt or anything. They just made him inactive. And 2, I mean, I know he fumbled the ball, but I mean, it was a perfectly placed like helmet hit right on the ball when John Ross fumbled the ball, and then I didn't even see him back in the game after that. Yeah. So I mean, give the man a chance, and even if you're not going to throw him the ball, the defense has to pay attention to him because he's just that fast.
Yeah, it's just run right past everybody.
And honestly, with the way Dalton's overthrowing people, maybe Ross can actually catch up to the ball. I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, coming from...
it's just a rough time to be a Bengals fan. That's all I got to say.
It might be a rough time for you, but it's not a rough time for my Raiders. My Raiders, obviously there's a lot of questions about Marshawn going into the season. Obviously, a 31-year-old running back coming off a year.
Looked good last week.
A year off. Look, he just absolutely trucked a Pro Bowl defensive tackle who's 300-plus pounds. Trucked right through him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, we're going to be fine. Marshawn's going to be fine. He might wear down a little bit if we don't limit his carries a little bit, but we have 2 other good, capable running backs of that. Good young running backs, too. So, I mean, I just think that it looks like with Carr and Marshawn, they got a little bit of a brotherhood, and that's what I wanted to see most because they're complete opposites.
Yeah.
So, I mean, much like Russell Wilson and Marshawn was, but I think it was good to see that they're going to be fine on offense without Marshawn, or with or without Marshawn. So, I mean, he looked good. The defense actually surprised me a lot. They actually shut down the Tennessee's run game, which is obviously a lot of what Tennessee does.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they look good. I still would like to see a lot more out of the defense. I need to see it before I believe in it.
You should see a lot more against the Jets this week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna come in here next week when we destroy the Jets and be like, our defense is amazing. It's the Jets, okay? If we play bad against the Jets on defense, that's when I know that we're still not gonna be able to beat Tom Brady or the Steelers. But I mean, it was a bright spot. I just wanted to see what Marshawn had left in the tank, and it was good to see that he still had some of the beast mode, and the quickness is what surprised me the most. The first carry, he got a 14-yard play, and much of it, I mean, he broke a few tackles, but it was nice to see him hit a hole,
Yeah.
which concerned me about a 30-year-old running back.
I think he's still fine.
Yeah, and the way he runs the ball, it's more so with the great offensive line we have, it's more so let me just break tackles and get a 10-yard gain, not a 50-yard gain. He's not trying to do that. That's not what he is. He's going to be a red zone guy, and that's what, honestly, we need help with last year because besides Crabtree, I don't really know what red zone weapons we had last year. I mean, Latavius a little bit, but I mean,
it'll be good. Yeah, Latavius was able to run the ball in well, but it's good to even have just the threat of Marshawn out there.
Yeah, and I think it would help Amari, which obviously they targeted Amari a lot last week.
I've been saying I think this is Amari's year. I think he's gonna have an awesome year.
But let me tell you, Amari, stop dropping passes because you're not gonna get all these red zone targets.
That's true.
Stop. You want all these red zone targets. You got 4 of them in a row. Which another thing is, last week we had
Green wishes he got that.
We had the ball on the 2 or 3 yard line and didn't give it to Marshawn once. Let's not be Seattle Seahawks right now, because he's gonna end up getting pissed at us just like he got pissed at Seattle. Let's not do that. We need him.
Keep him happy.
Give him the ball at least once.
Yeah.
At least once, because most likely he's probably going to get in the end zone on the 2 yard line.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's my rant about it, but I think we played good. Still, besides the Jets this week, I still need to see a lot more.
Oh, yeah. You'll get the opportunities to see